There's a good chance Devin Haney made a big mistake fighting Jose Ramirez, choosing this particular matchup as his get-back fight, coming off that Ryan Garcia beatdown that he took last April. And a lot of people are questioning whether or not Devin Haney's the same fighter. But the truth is that we're only going to know once he steps foot in that ring. Obviously, Jose Ramirez is a tremendous fighter. He deserves a lot of credit, but let's be real, he's not at his pinnacle right now. He's technically on the decline of his career. I think that before the Josh Taylor fight, he was the best version of himself, but now he's just getting in there because this is a big opportunity, not only to make a lot of money, but this is a big opportunity for Jose to get back on the map and get back on track to becoming, a world champion and a big name wherever, he intends to go next, whether it's 47, because I believe this fight's contracted at 144. So that should be interesting. But Jose Ramirez, this is a big opportunity for him. Doesn't really have a lot to lose because ultimately, a lot of people are already counting him out. He's a big underdog heading into this Devin Haney fight. But if he's able to pull it off and somehow, turn it into a brawl, rough up Devin Haney and back him into a corner, land his own shots and potentially crack Devin, then we could see a potential upset that would be huge for Jose Ramirez's career. Knocking out a guy like Devin Haney or beating him in any fashion would really ruin a lot of Devin Haney's plans. That's something where you have to reassess, can you or should you even face Ryan Garcia in a rematch? Even though I would still want to see it just because of the bad blood, and I feel like all of that animosity built up between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney and their camps, I feel like that's worth seeing for the boxing world. I feel like they've created that rivalry, and ultimately that's all dependent on whether or not Ryan Garcia beats Rolly and, of course, Devin Haney beating Jose Ramirez. Now, I favor Devin, of course. You'd be silly not to, but there's always that puncher's chance. And after seeing what happened in that Ryan Garcia fight, you can't help but think how durable is Devin Haney's chin. He does have a chin because ultimately, if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to continue. But Devin getting up time and time again does prove that, he has the ability, the heart, and, his chin didn't, give out completely to the point where he went to sleep. So we'll see against Jose Ramirez if we see improvement in that department. Obviously, Devin has taken a lot of accountability for the Ryan Garcia fight. He understands that PEDs are not, there were mistakes that he made, and I think that, the sharpest version of Devin Haney, I don't think Jose Ramirez beats him. I think Jose Ramirez is a great fighter. He's solid, but ultimately there are levels, and I think Devin's going to be too good with that jab to the point where Jose's not going to know what to do with the speed and the timing. The rhythm is going to be very difficult for Jose to keep up with. I just see him chasing Devin Haney, throwing a lot of shots, throwing heavy shots with bad intentions, but Devin being able to see everything. I think he's going to go back to that slick boxing Devin where he's throwing that up jab all the time and, he's being very slick. And I think he's just going to be too quick for Jose Ramirez. That's how I see it. But of course, that's also what I thought was going to happen in the Ryan Garcia fight, and look what happened. But of course, we also know that Jose Ramirez isn't Ryan Garcia. He doesn't have that left hook that's boom. He doesn't have that same effect. It's not as special of a left hook as Ryan Garcia, but he does have a solid left hook. He throws it hard, he throws it to the body, he throws it to the head, but it's not like Ryan's where it's Ryan could just be standing in front of you getting ready and it looks like he's going to throw a jab and then all of a sudden you come in and he's boom, and you're out. That's how Ryan Garcia throws the left hook. It's much faster and much more intense and explosive than Jose Ramirez in terms of his left hook. That's just how it is. Ryan Garcia's left hook, I always say that's the most dangerous punch in boxing right now. At least that's the only one I can think of. And, Ryan's a great fighter. I feel like he's great, but Jose Ramirez is a bit more fundamentally sound. So it'll still be interesting. I think it's going to be competitive, but Ryan beat Devin at Ryan's best, weapon, with his best weapon. He made Devin engage, and then he took advantage of that. Because in a firefight between Devin and Ryan's going to win. But in a boxing match where it's just about, staying away from Ryan Garcia, Devin can win that. But in a fight, a brawl, if he steps to Ryan like he did in the first fight, you know, that's a problem. But we'll see against Jose Ramirez what happens. I gotta go with Devin by unanimous decision. I think he cruises to a decision. I just think Jose Ramirez isn't in his prime anymore, and I gotta favor Devin, you know, with all the motivation, the tweaks that he's gonna make. I feel like he's gonna win this fight against Jose. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next Now Boxing video. Peace.